On Monday, we kicked off the Content Delivery Summit here at the Hilton, which is the 5th year we've been doing it now. And we had Netflix as the keynote, which was great because they haven't really talked too much about the technical side of their Open Connect program. And Open Connect is a program where Netflix is giving away free caches to last mile providers, where they can put that inside their network and deliver Netflix content to subscribers. So Netflix told us that they're moving away from content delivery networks, which we already knew. But it was interesting to see the technical details they gave out, really for the first time publicly, about how Open Connect works, what the boxes look like, how they're built. They gave out some photos of what a typical installation looks like. And we heard from a lot of carriers and telcos at the show as well, who are talking about how they can deliver OTT, over-the-top video, through the last mile and still have a good QoS experience. One of the biggest things we've been seeing, of course, is that Netflix takes up so much traffic on the internet. At peak times, it's 33% of traffic, which is huge. Nobody even comes close to that, maybe Google at the most. And it was interesting to hear how many service providers today, compared to last year, are looking at delivering their own video inside the network instead of going to a third party to do it for them. The Netflix solution, the Open Connect program that they have, they build caches, which are specifically set up to cache only Netflix content. You can't cache other content.
They're boxes?
They're Netflix boxes, it's hardware, and then they use open source software. And they give that away. They build it, they incur the cost that Netflix does, and they give it away to last mile providers.
Like the Verizons and Comcast?
So they haven't done a deal yet with Verizon or Comcast. They have announced a bunch of partners already who are deploying it. And once they deploy it and they put it inside the last mile, it allows them to deliver higher quality video. It allows them to deliver what's going to be called Super HD by Netflix. Also, Netflix is going to be doing 4K streaming. Not yet, but pretty soon. They're already doing some trials of it, and there's some demos online of that, some content. So Netflix has realized very quickly that because they are so much traffic on the internet at any given time, and last mile providers are trying to figure out a way to combat that because it costs them a lot of money. Last mile providers have to go out and buy a lot of transit in order to handle the delivery of Netflix video through their network. Netflix quickly realized if we give them caches for free and let them deploy them, we'll improve the quality of the service for consumers, positive, obviously, for all consumers in Netflix, and will help last mile providers reduce their cost. So very smart by Netflix, and over time as well, Netflix is going to spend less money building caches than they are in delivering their video through CDNs like Akamai, Limelight, and Level 3. So CDN pricing right now, it's pretty stable. I gave out some pricing details at cdnpricing.com. I posted those, and I've put out my typical year-end traffic estimates as well, volume growth. Pricing is pretty stable, although it's dropped a little bit more this year in Q2 compared to Q2 last year. Part of that is there's people out there jockeying for position. Limelight recently made an announcement in the last few weeks in their earnings call that they want to get back into the CDN space. They're going to start reinvesting. So one has to wonder if they're going to reinvest and try and get back into the CDN market as a focus. Do they lower pricing even more than others to try and grab share? Amazon's doing a good job with their CloudFront CDN service. That puts pressure on pricing in the market. So pricing is pretty stable. It's down about 20% right now on average compared to last year, and I think it's probably going to be down 25 to 30% by the end of the year. There were a lot of questions and subjects and talks about H.265, the HEVC, MPEG-Dash. The MPEG-Dash session that we had, the room was packed. We had to keep people from going in. Everybody's interested in MPEG-Dash. H.265 is one where there's a lot of debate. So I've been pretty vocal that it's going to take a couple years for H.265 to get true deployment. Others are saying we'll have it much faster. But what people forget is that H.264, the codec that's used now, that's been built into the entire video ecosystem. Encoding, transcoding, a lot of hardware. It's been built into the chipset on the playback. It's going to take a couple years for H.265 to get there. At NAB in April, we did see some demos from some vendors who have H.265 encoders, for instance. They're in beta, but it's going to take a couple years. The real question is, will H.265 really deliver that much better compression over H.264 and allow content owners to deliver twice the quality they're delivering today at half the bits? That's what's always promised every time a new codec comes out, but we have to see if that's actually the case once it's deployed.